So as my daughter was showing in the last video, when we have different variables, such as cars and stuffies, they need to be collected differently, okay? So a car and a stuffy are different things and they always need to be called different things. So for example, when she had 3 stuffies and 4 cars, you don't put them together to make 7 somethings. It's still just 3 stuffies and 4 cars. The same as with the polynomials that we're looking at with variables. My x variable is different than my y variable. So they don't go together, okay? My x and my y do not go together. So when I'm collecting like terms, I'm collecting my x's. So here I have 3x, and here I have minus x. If I just have a minus x, it's like saying, for example, here is a pen, okay? I have a pen or I have 1 pen, okay? It doesn't really matter. So if you have minus x, it could be written as minus 1x. So I'm going to collect my like terms there. 3x minus x is equal to 2x. There's nothing for this negative 2y to go with. And again, that sign is owned by that number. So that is a negative 2y. You may be used to be calling it minus 2y. It's the same thing. I'm going to call it a negative 2y. So right beside this, I just put in negative 2y. And that's your final answer. That x and that y do not mix. It's like a stuffy and a car. You have 2 stuffies and negative 2 cars. I know it doesn't really make sense that way, but you don't add stuffies and cars. Okay, next one. We also have the example of x squareds and x's. X squareds and x's are basically different variables. One's in a different dimension. One would be like area and one would be like perimeter, but they also don't mix. Okay, so when you're collecting like terms, you have to make sure you have all the same terms. There's an x squared, and look way down here, there's another x squared. So you're just going to total your x squareds first. 5x squared minus 1x squared will leave 4x squared. Okay, so those two are now done. We've used them up. So you can cross those out if you want. Now I have a negative 2x plus 3x. Whenever adding integers, I always think of temperature. If it's negative 2 degrees outside and it goes up 3 degrees, how warm is it? Well, it would be plus 1x, or 1 degree. So your final answer there is 4x squared plus 1x. Do not combine those. Those do not equal 5 of anything. They're very different terms. Whole numbers are the same thing. Whole numbers are different than variable terms. So if you have whole numbers, make sure you keep them separate. Again, find your like terms. 5a, negative 2a. 5 minus 2. 5a minus 2a, 3a. I've used those up. They're done. Now I have a 7, positive 7, and a positive 4. 7 plus 4 is just positive 11. Okay? Again, final answer. No need to combine those. Lastly, we have x's and whole numbers. So let's total up all my x's. 7x minus 2x. Well, 7x minus 2x is 5x. Minus an additional 2x would leave 3x. And all those are used up. And now I have a 3 minus 5. A 3 minus 5. 3 degrees outside and it gets 5 degrees colder. It's now negative 2 degrees. And there's no variable on those, so I just leave it as a whole number.